and welcome to Feasting with Chef C. Jones. I'm your host, C. Jones. Boy, do we have a special today. Pot roast and creamy grits. Well, let's not prolong the time. Welcome. Let's start off with some rolling, boiling water, just like this. You don't want to mess it up. It has to boil. We're going to add 1 cup of grits. 5 minutes to be exact. Slowly add that in. Do not pour it in. You have to take your time when you add your grits to your rolling, boiling water. Because if you do not, if you just throw your grits in there, you will have chunks and lumps. And my best friend does not like lumps in the grits. The plate will be returned.
Denied.
Period. Okay, so listen, I left my salt in the kitchen and I was not going to stop this video. I mean, I ain't going to even lie. I was already on my little flow. Just add you about 3 teaspoons of kosher salt and you good. Now listen, this is not the time to walk away from the stove. I'm telling you now in advance, your water will overflow. So basically, turn it down to low. Moving on. All right, so fast forwarding, we covered the grits and let them cook on low heat for about 20 minutes. Occasionally, I stir them with the whisk. Now, as you can see, the grits are thick. Shout out to my girl Cherie McGee for this recipe request. But before we move on, we're going to whisk for a last and final time just to make sure that there are no clumps. I do not like clumps, and it's not creamy if you have clumps. Okay? So the next thing that I do, I grab a rubber spatula and basically you just rub up against the bottom and the sides of your pot to make sure and ensure that you don't have anything sticking. I do not like my grits sticking to the pot, especially when my son is washing dishes, because then he will probably just soak the pot for about 5 days in the oven without me knowing. So next we're going to add a half a stick of butter and maybe about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Why do I add that? Because that's what I want. No, seriously. No, seriously. The butter adds a creamy texture and flavor, whereas the olive oil is a healthier alternative and it gives us that smooth texture at the end. If you do not have butter, you can use vegan butter or you can add extra olive oil. Next, you're going to add 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. If you want alternatives, you can use a fat-free cream cheese. You can even use vegan cream cheese or sour cream. Same amount. Now, if you are going for an old school feel, you could stop at the butter and the olive oil and let this cook for about 7 to 10 minutes longer or until it gets to the thickness of your liking. So we switch over to the whisk and remove all clumps, because once again, no clumps in the grits. No clumps in the grits. If you have clumps, whisk it out. Period. Okay, so now I'm going to add some scallions. This is about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons. This is an option. You do not have to add that. I add 1.5 cup of Sharp Cheddar cheese, freshly grated. As you can see, I use 2 major utensils, a whisk and a rubber spatula. You can use a spoon. Mix this up very well, but don't overdo it. You just want to incorporate and melt the cheese. Next, we're going to add our top and let the moisture continue to cook out. We're going to wait. Take our time. We're going to cook these grits like it's risotto. Take your time. Shout out to my mama for getting me this organic Dutch Gouda cheese from Trader Joe's. Thank you, girl! Okay, so now I'm uncovering the grits. Look at that. You see those oils? That's the butter. That's the olive oil. You see how thick that is? It's getting thick. It looks amazing. It's just about done to my liking. Now, if you want it a little bit thicker, cook it a little bit longer. Oh my God. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at the creaminess. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of that Gouda cheese that my mama gave me. Let's just mix that in. That Gouda's gonna give it an amazing flavor and just to top off the end of that creaminess. Sir, sis, this looks so good. I gotta get my dance on. Get your dance on. Get your dance on. Okay, so guys, these are the grits 3 hours later. Can you see the creaminess still? They're not hard. They are still moist and creamy. This is because of the oils that I incorporated. Listen, click on the next link. I'm going to show you a recipe on adding your pot roast to the top of these grits. Amazing. Look at this. Make no sense. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.